One thing Dak was asked about was his mobility and kind of moving forward. I think one big question about Dak Prescott, 31 years old now, coming off another season-ending injury, is, okay, you tore your hamstring trying to be more mobile than you were for the majority off the bone. For the majority of last season. Clarence kind of coaxed you into running the ball a little bit more.
That was Clarence's fault.
And then he did it and tears his hamstring. So what are you going to be from a mobile perspective moving forward? Are you going to be a little bit more restrained? And one thing Dak said, no, I can't be. My best football happens when I am mobile, when I'm moving in the pocket, when I'm evading rushes. And I still think, even though he wasn't running a lot last season, he still was kind of moving around while, you had some questions on the offensive line kind of coming, with pass rushers all over. So I think, I don't think we're going to see a lot of the mobility that we saw early 20s Dak. But I think you still will see a guy that emphasizes moving around the pocket and making plays.
And that's not a problem. There's a big difference from being mobile and being a runner.
For sure.
Right? Like a mobile guy is a guy who is able to efficiently, effectively navigate themselves through the pocket, avoid danger, avoid harm, extend the play a little bit more, and to be able to deliver on the run. We're not talking about you being Josh Allen. You're not talking about you being Lamar Jackson. And so those are different. So when he says mobile, yeah, he's always been mobile.
Right.
That he's always been able to be elusive in the pocket. He's always been able to extend the play or to get away from defenders. We've seen that part. It's the part where it's 3rd and 8 and nobody's open.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, to me, that's the issue, because the last couple of years he's turned down opportunities to run on 3rd and 8.
Right.
To throw the ball. And when you see an opportunity to run, we need you to be decisive and run. And I think that's something that Schottenheimer talked about. Yeah, I don't want him to run the zone read, but because of the pass rushers and how they get back there, he needs to be able to extend plays, make plays when things break down. And that's what I don't want him to turn down. He began, after the ankle injury, he began turning down. He can still move, but he began turning down opportunities.
When it goes like this,
yes. I need you to go and to be a thrower. And I just need you, when there's an opportunity there, get the first down with your feet if it's there. And I think that's something that he talked about.
And also from a physical standpoint, let me just kind of differentiate the difference between the two. One, because you're talking about muscles that if you don't use them all the time, that the percentage of you getting hurt increases. And so there's a difference between taking a 5-step drop and then all of a sudden you having to put your foot in the ground and sprint towards the sideline or to make a play downfield. That hamstring, especially from a quarterback perspective, it's not getting used like a receiver's hamstring is getting used. A receiver's calf is getting used, or ankles, or running back, or DB, or what have you. So when you start talking about when you go, weeks and months and you really haven't stretched out that hamstring or things, or that quad or that groin or whatever it is, from a quarterback, their routine is usually a predictable routine, right? 3-step drop, 5-step drop, 7-step drop, and then kind of small movements in the pocket. It's a whole nother thing when you got to now explode and extend out further than you normally have to. So for Dak, it's like I have to find a way to keep those muscles functioning and moving a lot, because if all I'm doing is standing in the pocket, especially now if you're spending a lot of your time, if you're spending 75, 80% of the time in shotgun, you're not even taking the drop backs like that anymore. Right. And so you aren't using those particular muscles that we're talking about. So you see the calf strains, you see the hamstring pulls, and so on and so forth. So for Dak, it's not just being mobile, it's being able to be a runner within the confines of not getting yourself hurt.
I did some DB drills the other day, just some footwork things, just to kind of get a little warm up and feel it. Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
No, it was. If you don't use them drills,
they go away.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's why you were talking about you can't compare dancing and running to 40. I mean, you don't use those muscles. You can't do the same thing.
You never stop dancing?
No, I never stopped stepping and dance. No.
There you go.
It's different movements. But a couple of other things from Dak he talked about. We asked him about it. I said, what advice you give Micah? I said, I got nothing for Micah because I didn't get my deal done before the season. So what can I tell him? How to get your deal
done? Which was so hilarious.
It'd been way better if he said that MF doesn't listen anyway.
But and he talked about Michael learning. And he also talked about Michael learning and growing as a leader, and he thinks he still got room to grow. He's a young guy. He still got room to grow as a leader.
On that note, too, he was asked, okay, you guys lost a lot of leaders this offseason. DeMarcus Lawrence, Zach Martin, Jordan Lewis. Like, who are you looking to step up and kind of fill that void? And, he's like, yeah, I don't want to name anyone because I want everyone to kind of pursue it. He did eventually name Micah a CD. The guy he also mentioned, though, was Osa Odigizua. He's like, that's a guy who does everything the right way. You look at Osa as a guy who's an absolute workout warrior. That's someone that I think, if we're talking about who is the kind of apex workout predator in the Cowboys locker room, Osa probably fits that bill. So I think that was an interesting name that he brought up.
Interesting he didn't mention Diggs either.
What are you trying to say?
Now you're digging.
I don't understand.
Good pun.
Am I digging?
Now you
Good
digging.
pun.
Now
That's
you're
a good pun.
Now you're digging. And there's always been when you ask, Dak about any advice that he would give to Micah, there's always been an unspoken rule in the locker room. You don't get involved in nobody else chasing their money.
No.
Because at some point in time, you'll come up. Especially if you're a star player, it's gonna come a point in time where your contract will be up. So guys don't even get mad if guys are trying to get new deals. Like the locker room that I've been in, you want the guys there, but you don't get involved and interfere or have anything to say when someone's trying to go get their bag.
Yeah.